All right, gentlemen, the wife is away. I just put the kids to bed, so you know what that means. Come here. You know what we're going to do now. We're going to watch Corvette videos. Yeah, that's right. Get out of here. Get out of here. We're going to watch another Corvette video. It's been a minute since I talked about Corvettes on this channel, and man, I just think about them constantly. I was talking to somebody today about my Z06, and it got me thinking how I just really miss that car. Big time. Big time. I would sell parts of my body and possibly the whole thing to get another C7. I really, really miss that car. So today we're going to be watching this video, this Throttle House video, that is, in my opinion, possibly one of the best cars ever made. And that's just my opinion. You don't have to like it. But it's the C7 ZR1. I think that, obviously there's a lot of cars that can outperform it. There's cars that are faster. There are cars that are better around the Nürburgring. Whatever. I don't care. What I'm saying is, if I had unlimited money and I could pick any car, I think this might be it. Gentlemen, I think this might be it. So today, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch some of this video, and we're just gonna react to it. Yeah, I'm gonna make you watch. This is one of my favorite C7 ZR1 videos of all time. So buckle up, strap in. Let's get it on. Okay, let's watch some. This sound, the startup sound, that's one of the things I miss the most. And I don't know if you've had a C7. Actually, let me know down in the comments, because I'm curious what type of fine gentleman watch this video. Just let me know down in the comments. Are you a prospective Corvette owner, like you want to get a Corvette? Are you a current Corvette owner? Or are you just an enthusiast? Or are you like me? You're a former Corvette owner, and you sold your Corvette to get into a different house because you had a kid. Okay, it's like the most stereotypical thing ever, and I genuinely hate that about I hate that about myself. There's a lot of us guys that are in the same boat, right? We did what we had to do, and unfortunately, now the car's gone. But baby has his own room. Okay, so but does it really matter? Okay, he could have slept in the car. This is what I keep trying to tell the wife. All right. Anyways. We're going to get back into, the startup sound. Oh my goodness. The startup sound of the Z06, man. When you just let that thing go, it would just growl. And you keep it in sport mode so that the exhaust valves are open when you first start it. And the way it just sends the sound across the cul-de-sac, the startup sound explodes in the garage, and the garage just funnels the sound across the cul-de-sac. Oh, beautiful. You just can't beat it. You just can't beat it.
You're watching Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
Man, I love these guys. That supercharger sound, whew, man, it gets me going. I seriously, I miss the C7. I miss just stomping people on the highway in the Z06. I remember there was this Charger that came up to me. A dude thought he actually yelled out the window after, because we lined up on the highway, and I obviously dusted him. And after he pulled up, he came up next to me. He was like, "I thought it was a Stingray." Nah. Not a Stingray, bud. Not a Stingray. And man, let me tell you, just the whine. It's just such like a crazy sound. This is, of course, the ZR1, right? Which is similar powertrain, but makes 100 more horsepower. If you probably already knew that if you're here, right? Because you're a fine, distinguished gentleman, right? You're a Corvette guy. I'm gonna shut up. We'll get back into it.
And this.
The angles, you can't beat it. And the thing is, if you don't know these guys, the Throttle House guys, I really like this channel because I can throw this on. I can throw Throttle House on, and we can watch. I can let the kids watch it and everything. Where you might not want to have me on in the background with the kids. Usually I keep it pretty PG, but I might accidentally drop some sort of cuss word or something on accident. It happens. But these guys, the Throttle House, this team is great. But look at this, man, the lines. You can't beat it, man. The front, they just hit the nail perfectly on the head when they designed this car. I hope they all got raises for this.
Is the C7 Corvette ZR1.
Hit us with some specs.
Whatever.
This is the ZR1, the absolute peak of the C7 generation of Corvette. They threw everything at it. With an upgraded Z06 engine, it makes 755 horsepower.
755. I couldn't imagine, because the 650 that the Z06 makes is like really fast. It's irresponsibly fast. I know there's tons of, like, everybody's got like 1,000 horsepower this and 1,000 horsepower that, but you know, for us regular guys, 650 horsepower is insane. Even the naturally aspirated version of that, naturally aspirated version of this engine in the Stingray, my manual transmission Stingray, I mean, used to be able to, I could drop it into third, you know, and spin the wheels at, 25, 30 miles an hour. Even the Stingray, crazy power.
It's Z06.
I think those made 420, something like that.
Engine. It makes 755 horsepower, but it's a car that's as much made for straight line violence as it is crushing cornering forces. And since we've already tested the...
That looks pretty bad too. All right, Viper, this gen Viper or ZR1, let me know down below.
Now legendary Dodge Viper ACR, a street car that has topped our leaderboard. Let's see how Chevy's answer fares at
so
our
good.
track, and whether or not it too shall become a legend.
You know, I always used to think that, I might want to take the Z06 out on the track, but I think I talked about this before in a different video, where I feel like once you take a car onto the track, it's never going to come home the same. And to be honest, I used to baby my Z06, right? I only got on the highway, and it wasn't even that often. I would corner pretty hard going around on and off ramps, but for the most part, I kind of drove it like a granny, to be honest. I didn't want to break it, and I wanted it to be in good condition. I guess I'm just kind of like a weirdo like that. Like, I used to clean the thing every time after coming out. I just sat there in the garage and just, man, I used to get so much satisfaction out of just sitting in the garage and staring at it. And I totally relate. I remember years ago, I was driving through this neighborhood with my mom, and I remember I was in the passenger seat, and we drove by, and this was still when, this would have been 2012 maybe, or no, I'm sorry, 02 maybe. So I was 12. So the C6 Corvettes were out, and I remember this guy. We passed by this house, and he has his garage door open, and he was kind of like sitting sideways in his garage in a lazy boy chair, and directly in front of him was a C6 Corvette, blue one, and then right above the Corvette on the wall was a big screen TV, and I remember like seeing that guy sitting in the garage, just with his car in front of him and the TV about him. I was like, dude, that guy is living in heaven right now. That looks incredible, but. Yeah, I get it. What was I talking about? The track. That's right. Like, I would love to take one of these out on a track, but I don't know if I could ever do it to mine. Oh my goodness. I could never look at my car the same. after taking it out on the track. You know what I mean? When I was younger, growing up, I used to have 240 SXs and like Honda Accords and stuff like that. And we used to take the 240 SXs out to drift events and, take them around the circle track and drift around and everything, or do autocross events and stuff like that. Even an autocross event, I felt like after a day of autocrossing a car, like you can, it's just like, I don't know, it's just a little looser when you drive it home. It's just not the same. I couldn't do it. Is that crazy of me to like want like a high performance machine and just like be okay with it just like sitting there chilling? It feels wasteful. But it feels also wasteful to like beat it and destroy it. I don't know.
150, 170, 200, 230, that's past our finish line.
I never got mine up that fast either. 200 is crazy work. Fastest I ever got my Z06 up to was 158 maybe, somewhere. I think I was just shy of 160. Thing is, if you've never gone that fast, you run out of road really, really quick. And especially because I did it on a closed course. It was not a road. It was a track. The track I was on ran out of room really quick. The straightaway is what it was. That's where I did it.
I once said that happiness is on the other side of 7,000 RPM. It turns out insanity is on the other side of 700 horsepower. And that is a lot of performance for $140,000 Canadian, which is what this was when it came out. That's less.
I hate that there's so much more now. They're like well over 200 now. I've seen some go for sale recently in the 290s. And for like the ZTK package, getting up to 300, it's too much. I should do a video soon. I've been thinking about an idea for a video for Z06s specifically, because this is what I would be looking at. Is a Z06 a good investment, like from a financial perspective? Maybe we can fudge the numbers a little bit, right? And we can come up with this presentation. We can show the wife. You can show your wife too, and I'll kind of, the numbers and say, well, look at the, definitely a good financial investment. It's just buy and hold, right? Don't worry, boys. I got you. I think I'm going to do that.
Less than what base C8s are going for now.
Except it's not 140 grand anymore. You see, cars like these have skyrocketed in price.
Ooh.
If you want a ZR1 now, you're going to have to shell out about 250 grand Canadian. That's $100,000 more than when they were new. That's a big price, and it's caused by a small problem. You see, there's no inventory in new cars right now, which has driven up the price of both new and used cars. And the reason for that, apparently, is due to a shortage of these.
Oh, chips, yeah. Yeah, I guess this came out, 4 years ago. This video came out 4 years ago when all the chips thing was going on. I remember it was kind of funny. I remember like right before everything got crazy, I had bought this it was either a 2019 or a 2020 GMC Duramax, and like right before all the prices skyrocketed. And I don't know if you guys remember in 2020, especially trucks, like for some reason truck prices just went through the roof, and like super diesel truck prices. Okay, so I bought this 2020 Duramax, and or whatever year Duramax, it might have been a 19 or whatever, it doesn't matter. So I got this Duramax, and my buddy was like, oh, that's a waste of money, and just joking around, I was like, oh yep, got it as an investment, just got it as a joke. And he was like, oh, that's the worst investment ever, you're stupid. Okay, obviously I was joking, right? It's not an investment. But then the joke ended up being on him because the chip shortage went crazy, truck prices skyrocketed. The truck ended up being a total dumpster fire. The thing was constantly in the shop. It was a piece of crap. Like the radio broke. I'm so glad I bought the bumper to bumper warranty. It paid for itself like 4 times over. Okay, like the radio busted on it, and then some sensors kept breaking on the engine, kept getting check engine lights. The intake pipe just like blew off one time. The battery exploded, and then it needed an entirely new engine, something at 20,000 miles, a new, I don't know, some sleeve inside of the engine like got jacked up, and it just like whatever. It needed an entirely new engine. So, and then it got like, I don't know, some other thing. Check engine light kept coming on, and after all that, and then the engine. That's when I got my first C7 because the truck like broke for like the 70th time, and I drove to the dealership and I just like put the keys down on a salesman's desk, and I was like, I don't care what the numbers are. Take back this. Almost cussed there. Take back your truck. I don't want it anymore. Give me that red Corvette outside. Just do it. Just make it work, okay? And this was like right after all the truck, all the truck prices went crazy. So I ended up making money on the truck. Like it was crazy. I drove it for 2 years, and I traded it in for more than I bought it for. It was wild. It was crazy. But yeah, anyways, that's how I got into my first C7, because my Duramax was a pile of hot garbage.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Also, this is a crisp.
I'm getting passionate about thinking how much of a pile thing. It was so nice. Like the inside, it was so nice to be in. It was a high country. Like it was so comfortable and clean and everything, and looked good. But dude, it was cursed.
Chip.
It was cursed.
Whatever the reason, it's expensive, so it better be good.
Because it's perfection. That's
And this car is very, 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 very good. Let's start with the power. Supercharged. Insane sound coming through the cabin. I think it's louder in here than it is outside, which is great because I'm
thing is, look how happy he is.
coming through the cabin. I think it's louder in here than it is outside, which is
It's
great
like,
because
look how happy it is, right? That's how it was driving mine around too. The C7 was like, it's just like a real car driver's car. To me, it was like the perfect mix of like grandpa car and like car guy car. Like even the Z06, like it had like the automatic hill start, right? And it was a manual transmission. So I don't know if you knew that or not, but the whatever trim package, I think I had the 2LT. It had hill assist. So it would put the brakes on, and basically as soon as you started giving it gas, it would lift off the brakes for you, so while you're feathering the gas, and taking off the clutch. So it was like, super nice like that, right? And then it had the paddles where you could turn on and off the rev matching. So it had all these really cool features that made you feel like a really good driver, but it still had, all that real like raw performance there at your fingertips. Like it's like a really hard cornering car. I've gotten pretty silly in vehicles before, plenty of times, but this was the only car where I felt like I never found the car's limit, right? Like every other car I've had, I've been able to push it around and like find the limit of its performance. But that Z06, I couldn't do it. Honestly, I was scared. I was never in like a situation where I felt comfortable pushing it that far, but
I'm the
I could only imagine this would be even crazier.
one that wants to experience it. Now, it doesn't rev out much. It's no 911 GT3. But compared to the Viper,
Let me know down in below. Porsche 911 GT3 or C7 ZR1.
it's a much more charismatic engine.
Now, I love 911s. I do. I really love 911s. It's such an iconic car. Looks amazing. Never driven one. I would love to. I would like to own one day too. Maybe an older 911. But like I said before, like in the beginning of the video, unlimited money. I don't think I'm picking I don't think I'm picking that one.
The GT3 kind of winds up to 9,000 RPM in this musical note, and the Viper kind of just drones. This is the equivalent of someone just shaking you awake. There's so much urgency. I mean, this is a car that's made to put lap times on the board and smiles on your faces. That's what it's all about. That's why you're now paying, for some reason, $250,000. And it does that.
It's kind of gross thinking about that. Just thinking about how much it is.
Dangerously. That is exhilarating. Also, we have it today in the 8-speed automatic. You can get this in a manual, but this is the 8-speed. And
let me know what you guys think down below. Manual? Are you a manual or an auto guy? And I'm going to tell you my experience. So I owned a manual Z06, but I've also driven an auto Z06. And like, to be honest, that thing was a weapon. And, you know, I think if you want like a driver's experience, you probably go manual, right? But the Z06 automatic transmission in there, it's not a dual clutch, it's not like a dual clutch or anything crazy like that, but it was just so fast. The auto, it was like you push the gas and it's already like you're not even finished pressing the pedal and it's already shifted for you and you're just like in the throttle and like you're just gone. And it was like the throttle response is so good. It does not feel like an electronic throttle at all, even though it is fully electric. But it doesn't feel like it. So it's crazy good. And I owned an automatic Stingray for a little while. I had a manual transmission Stingray and an auto Stingray. The auto Stingray also, it was a really fun car to drive. Things I did not like is that it has the 4-cylinder mode. Like you're driving it, it shuts off the cylinders to save gas. That's like, dude, come on, GM. There's probably some tuner you can do to undo that, but come on, that was not cool. All right, I'll quit yapping.
I wonder.
Get to the end here.
If it might just be the only weak point of this car, because Thomas is going to talk about the handling a bit more later. And the insane grip levels. But from a transmission point of view, even though the shifts themselves are quite quick, they take a second to decide that they want to shift after you've hit the paddle.
And that's using the paddles. I didn't use the paddles. In my Stingray, the paddles were slow. But I want to put it in perspective for you, right? Because yes, shifting with the paddles was slow, but yeah, if I just hit the thing, and then it takes about a half a second or a second or so, and then we're shifting. But if you think about it, when you're going to shift, right? Like when there's a shift coming up, and the shift hitting it on the button and then waiting for the shift is still might be faster. Well, I don't know. It's either about this. I think it's about the same as manual transmission saying, "Hey, all right, I want to shift." Now the full process of clutch in, shift, clutch out, that time might be the same. It's just like getting used to, I think it's like when you're shifting in a manual, you're shifting and now you're like, I want to shift now, so now I shift. In an automatic car, at least these with the paddles, you got to hit it, a little delay. So you need to know when you're going to shift and preemptively hit it. But keeping it out of there, I think it's probably better. Staying in the paddles, it's just not really fun because of the delay, but the auto transmission is quick.
You kind of have to time it. If you wait till the red line, you're going to hit the rev limiter for a second. And if I switch it to automatic mode, I've lost that sense of control. It doesn't seem to be able to work out when it should shift. So I still prefer the manual shift mode, but I think faced with the decision, I'd prefer the manual. One thing's for certain.
It's great.
Very few cars move in a straight line the way this car does.
It's incredible. All right, we're gonna check out the end here. So they basically, they take it around their test lap, their test track, and I want to see. We're gonna take a look ahead and see where the car stacks up with their other
Order
cars.
BAC mono.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Nailed it right on there.
ACR Viper.
Yep.
GT3.
Okay,
They
this is
occupy the sevens.
previous. All right, let me move me over here so we can take a look at this list, and then we'll get it going.
Yep.
Followed by the 10s, which are the two CSs, the M2 and the M5.
Right. Okay. So you ready?
So, well, you don't want to hear my
I
guess?
wanna take a
I'm
guess.
sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, I do want to hear your guess.
Hold on, we're gonna take a guess. I'm gonna. All right, where do you think the Z06 is gonna land in here? ACR. Okay, is it better? It's not gonna beat a mono. Faster or slower than ACR? I think gonna be slightly slower than ACR. 992, 911. It's definitely faster than M5 CS. I'm gonna guess that it's gonna take the new number 3 spot. So it's gonna be in between the Viper ACR and the Porsche 911
Followed
GT3.
by the 10s, which are the two CSs, the M2 and the M5.
Right. Okay. So you ready?
You don't want to hear my guess?
I do. I'm sorry. Yes, I do want to hear your guess. Go ahead.
I didn't really have one. I just thought-
Okay.
I'm guessing halfway in between, at 1085.
What do you mean? What do you mean your guess is 1085?
It's
1085,
exactly
that
halfway
would
between
put it
the
at the
7s
fourth spot,
and the
I think.
10s. And that's, I think, where this would
You've been
fit.
doing this too long. You've been doing this, so that's exactly right.
It's right?
It's exactly right.
I'm going to go buy a lottery ticket.
It is. This did a
let's take a look.
108.59.
Wow, I got that within a
All right, I was a little off.
10th.
Yeah. Okay. Be excited about the car, not your guess.
Okay, so C7 ZR1 came in at 859 around their track. A little slower than the 911 GT3, but faster than the BMW. Cool. All right, well, hey, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you like this video, you don't have to subscribe. I just ask that you go over to my channel and see if there's any other videos that tickle your fancy or that you might be interested in. Anyways, thanks for sticking around, and hope you have a great day. See you in the next one.